Yeah, because a lot of people on the set were really passionate. Like the blood people were very passionate, and they're like, "Look at this what we've made, and look at this what we made." And the passion is there, and I really noticed with the horror fans, man. The premiere. They're lining up on the sidewalk. They're so thankful for a performance, and you could feel there's James autograph. You're taking pictures, and you could feel the warmth of the horror fans. Man, I was like, dude, it reminds me a little of wrestling. Like they can appreciate what you're doing for them. They know you made this for them, and I feel that. That was a beautiful thing to give this to the horror fans and to be accepted into the horror community. What a community to be a part of. I'm so lucky. Yeah. No.
Hey everybody, got a conversation with Geeks Podcast. Well, James Preston Rogers. How you doing, James? How's life?
Very well. Thanks for having me, Justin. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dude, love having you, man. So what got you? You've had an interesting career. I was reading up about you. What kind of got you into the entertainment business, as well as acting, as well as the whole deal?
Well, I've been blessed with height. I've been 6'5", and I was always a skinny basketball player. So I said, when basketball is over for me, I'm just going to start going to the gym. And I started going to the gym, and me and a buddy of mine like, "Hey, what do you want to cut your hair like?" And I'm like, you know what? I don't know yet. So we just let our hair grow. And next thing I know, I had really long hair, and I was 6'5", 260 pounds. Everywhere I went, people were like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you? I don't know what you do, but I know you do something. Can I get a picture with you?" And that happened for years. And then I started having, like, I was a doorman for a while. And then I worked with my dad as an elevator mechanic for a while. And I thought, you know what? Let me take a run at this. So I found a wrestling school, started going to wrestling school, and then the wrestling coach is like, "You know what? We're doing a show this weekend. You're gonna have to do a vignette." So what's a vignette? He's like, "You cut a promo. You have to be on camera." Well, I panic attack, right? So I was like, I scrambled. I found an acting school. I started taking cat classes, and I was wrestling in classes, and then I got a call from the WWE, and I went down and I was at Booker T's place in Houston, and then I was at Deep South for a little bit, and I had done some movies with Tom Selleck. I did a movie with Ron Perlman. I had done some acting up to that point, a couple of commercials, and it was just like, which way am I going to go? I didn't love wrestling enough to marry it. I could do it, and it was great, but these guys, you got to be obsessed to live on the road and do that. And for me, I just found more joy taking the story from the script, creating something. Because like I have, like, you have a movie, everybody has the movies. Like for us, it's Back to the Future. You want to disappear to a TV show, and I just wanted to be able to create that for somebody. Like I read this article one time. There was a doctor, he's a brain surgeon, and he was talking to this actor friend of his, and he's like, "Thank you for being an actor." And the actor's like, "I'm just an actor." He's like, "Yeah, but I'm doing surgeries all day, they're life and death, and I just need to step away and put on a show, and it takes me away." And at that moment, I was like, "Well, you know what?" And so I started acting. And my first bit that was on TV was with Tom Selleck called Sea Change. It was a miniseries he was doing, and he used the clip from the Regis and Kelly show. And I saw it there with my dad, and he's like, "Hey, there's your buddy Tom Selleck," and we're watching the show. I'm like, he's using my clip. And because my mom had just passed away, and Tom Selleck was one of my mother's favorite actors, right? And so after he used my clip, he's like, "Hey, James, make sure you, if you go on YouTube, it's on there somewhere." He's like, "Hey, James, make sure whatever." He said hello to me on the show. My dad looks at me like just a changing of the guard, right? My dad looked at me with a different look. I'm like, whoa, that felt good. And I'm like, man, that scene I did with Tom Selleck, no one has more hours on TV than Tom Selleck up to this point. And I'm like, man, I was trying to prescribe with him. Like,
but I did set him up pretty good.
We keep trying to make him better. That guy, not a guy to pick a fight with.
Right.
Jesse does that, though. He's a little self-destructive. The guy's 6'7". His name's James Rogers, and he was just about, when we did this, to embark on a professional wrestling career. He's going to be called Big Deal. So, James, you owe me.
Hey, how about that?
Sounds like sports, like basketball, but I had to really practice with my right and practice with my left, and 20 of these and 20. I was never the best guy at the gym. I made all-star teams. I played very well at a high level, but I never was the best guy. But the acting just, and now I'm 6'5". I'm 250 pounds. I got long flowing hair. I'm doing this Viking movie with Ron Perlman, Jim Caviezel, Jack Houston, and I'm riding a horse. I'm swinging a sword. I'm like, man, this is it. This is great for me. So I was 30 years old when I found what I wanted to do with my life. So up to that point, I was just throwing jobs and didn't know what to do with myself. So like I said, I found a wrestling school, took some acting classes, and then, man, then you find something you love and you never work another day in your life. And for me, that was acting. I just couldn't get enough of it. I would do it for free. I was just enthralled with the whole process. And actually got to write my first short film called Gutterball Blues. And
yeah, man.
Started and had won 14 awards this year, like all the film festivals. I was like,
I suffered a great loss. This bowling alley, it really helps me cope with it.
Another round? Or something different, Jack?
Congratulations, man. That's
yeah,
incredible.
I must have learned something over those 20 years of being on sets with all these different directors and stuff. I had one day to shoot it, one guy, a camera guy and a lighting guy, and we knocked it out. And I was like, wow. So that's a whole nother, because now I'm writing stuff now. I'm like, I have all these movies that have been living rent free in my head for years. I'm like, let me get these down and see if we can and start getting these made. So it's been great. And the thing about acting for me, it's always something new, started in background and then, you work your way up and then you're in the foreground, then you're lead. Now I'm writing and directing. It's just so much to do. And it's just so satisfying for me,
I love hearing your passion about it. I have to talk about the movie behind you though, Psycho Killer. You're the killer. You're the dude. Like, what was that like? How did you get the role? How did that all come out?
Oh, that's crazy on so many levels. Well, the script has been bounced around for a long time, and then it came to my team, and they presented it to me, and I was like, pretty demonic, man. I said, the satanic slasher, because I believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I believe I'm a follower. So to do this film was like, so I had to do a checklist basically to make sure it was from him, and it wasn't a trick from him. So after I did the checklist. And I found out it was for me in my 20 years that I've been pursuing. Now I'm a title character, and it was great, but there's a lot to it. I've always been a supporting role. So I would show up and I would work with Tom Selleck for the day or two, and then I'd leave. And then Tom Selleck would work with the next person, and so on and so on. Now I'm the guy who's on set working with the day players. Man, they come in with all this energy, and I'm like, another day, another one. The days are long, and you're just like, man, by the end of it, I was like, man, this is really trying me in different ways. Like, when you sit at the computer all day, you're like, oh, I'm exhausted. Or you go play all day, I'm exhausted. This was trying me in a different way. And I'm dealing with a lot of people, other actors, a lot of personalities, writers, directors. And I was getting taken home, being shuttled home around 4 a.m. After like weeks and weeks of cold up in Winnipeg, freezing weather, long days. And this one lady, she's the shuttle driver, she turns, James, I've been waiting to drive you. What do you think of Winnipeg? And at that moment, I was like, now I understand when people say, oh, I spoke to so-and-so and he was such a this, that, and a third. Because at that moment, I was like hanging on by a thread, man. I was going to lose it. But I was like, Winnipeg's great, man. I love Winnipeg. It's so cold this time of year. And because that last little moment she doesn't know what it's taken up to that point in that moment in time for me that I'm on my last legs, but she doesn't know that, if you don't be a professional all the way through, you're going to come off wrong to somebody. And I've been tested a lot of ways in that way. So the script came, we decided to do it, and it taught me a lot. Again, I learned a lot on this film, and working with Gavin Pallone, he was very free director. I worked with a lot of directors that this way, it has to be this way, it's got to be this way. And then you start getting like, oh, okay. And you follow the robotics of it. But he was very allowing you to be creative and bring your thoughts and, hey, what about this? That's great. Let's try that. I was like, ooh, got to be a creative environment we're in. So that bode well for the performance of all of us, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Was it mentally taxing being a killer? Like you mentioned the religion aspect of it, but was like just taking that home, was that hard?
I've been very fortunate that I'm able to turn it off. Like action, I'm there. Cut, I'm off. For me, I do all my work before I get there with the script and creating what I need to do. So when we're doing the script, I know where we are in the story. Okay, to this point, he's done this, so he's feeling this. And I have my notes, so I know where he is. So when we go to the day, we're like, okay, we're shooting scenes 26, 28, and 58 today. So I know what scenes we're doing in what order. So I'm already kind of there. And it's like going to work. You know, if you got to load this truck, you got to unload that truck, and you got to dig that hole, you know, your day's pretty much planned. So it's I've been doing this for 20 years. So it's worked for me. Is it gruesome and is it gross? When you're on set, I know the guy working the squibs with the sugar can with the blood, and I know the guy doing the fall, and it's like we're all there making this dance for the lens, right? We're trying to tell our story through the lens to the person at home or in the theater. So it's I'm very fortunate. I don't bring it home. It's not too crazy for me. I don't know if you want me to tell you that. Oh, I couldn't sleep that night. It was nuts. But I'm working with my friends. It's like it's great. You know, it's a great job.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite psycho killer kill then? Do you have a favorite like scene?
Yeah, there's a few. Like I like them all. Because they all hold a special place in my heart. But I like when he's walking up the hallway and he looks, you know, first of all, the girl comes in, he shoots the girl in the head. That was tough to watch because I was a lady. It was a boom. She probably might be a mother or a sister or something. Like, oh, that was tough. And then he looks in the mirror and he sees the other guard getting ready around the corner. It was like a hallway, a curving hallway, and he throws what's his name, Lewis. He throws Lewis there, and then the gun's drawn, and then he pop up. So like he's smart. He's not just a hammer or a sledge. Like he's thinking, he's articulating. He has a plan. And but kills, man, I got to go with the priest. Was pretty cool because like he was making that part for a while. He had that in his mind and drinking the blood. And the first take, we're doing the blood drinking, and Psycho Killer has a black jacket on, so you couldn't see the blood. So I made an adjustment where I kind of put my hand under, so now you could see the blood off of my skin, so you could see it actually coming out because it was very dark in there. But again, I got to throw an axe into Malcolm's head. That was also very cool for me too, because Malcolm's been around forever and he's a pro's pro, and I got to, and I put the axe in and I had to like, no, pretend I was taking it out of some bones. So that was pretty special for me too. I really enjoyed this film.
That's awesome. So, playing a killer, in your research and your prep, did you gain inspiration from any of the other films or any actual serial killers or otherwise? Yeah,
I started doing some research. I started doing some serial killer research and stuff. But then as I was getting into it, I was like, wait a second. I'm starting to adopt things from other characters that are not actually psycho killers. So once I got my feet wet with the idea, I kind of stepped back because Andrew Kevin Walker is a tremendous writer. So I just let his script speak to me. Once I got the flavor, I kind of wanted to let the words talk to me. I didn't want to bring something preconceived into his script. You know, I wanted to be Psycho Killer. I didn't want to be someone else trying to be Psycho Killer, if that makes any sense.
Sure. No, that makes a ton of sense. Was it awesome being in a horror film? I have to assume it was just a lot of fun, right? Just in general, just the genre.
Oh yeah. I was in The Blackening. I don't know if The Blackening is technically a horror film.
I love The Blackening. I watched. Yeah, I'm on the fence. It's a comedy for sure, but I also like I don't.
Yeah, it was great. That was fun. I mean, super talented cast there. I mean, they just ran with dialogue, and it was funny. And like we should yell cut, but they're all comedians. They keep going. Like it was so much, and I got to be the twin brothers there and the killers there. So that was the first time wearing a mask, and that was fun. But being a killer in this one. So right back to your question again about this one was what?
Yeah. Sorry, just was it fun being in a horror film? Like I know The Blackening. I kind of this is full on horror. I get what you're saying, but like yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people on the set were really passionate. Like the blood people were very passionate, and they're like, "Look at this what we've made, and look at this what we made." And the passion is there, and I really noticed with the horror fans, man. We did the premiere. They're lining up on the sidewalk. They're so thankful for a performance, you know. And you could feel there's James autograph. You're taking pictures, and you could feel the warmth of the horror. Fans, man, I was like, dude, it reminds me a little of wrestling. Like they can appreciate what you're doing for them. They know you made this for them, and I feel that. You know, that was a beautiful thing to give this to the horror fans and to be accepted into the horror community. What a community to be a part of. I'm so lucky. Yeah, and the horror film was great because you get to get messy at the end of the day, and it was fun. It was like playing in the sandbox. You know, it was cool.
Yeah. But let's talk about The Blackening. In my opinion, that's more of a comedy than a horror. But like, what was that? Just a fun set? You mentioned it was just actors and comedians all around, right? Was that also awesome?
Yeah, that was also awesome too. Again, I'm the bad guy, so when you put the mask on, it's like, ooh, right? So it's funny because I'm still me, and then I put the mask on. Everybody's like, or no one wants to make eye contact with you. It's like, yeah, you're up this way today. You're over there. Like, I got the mask on, right? You have to walk and stuff. But yeah, the blackening was great because Tim Story, he did barbershop. He's a director. He's got some passion and some ideas, and he was smart. He never cut. He kept the camera rolling past the scenes. Everybody's ad libbing, and everybody has their own idea. And everybody starts adding stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Like they must have had so much footage, and it was funny, man. Like it was funny on the script, and then to watch the movie was funny because it was very, very, very much the same and similar. The psycho killer, there was some good kills. Yeah. Georgina was great. Oh, and I got to tip my hat to my buddy Steve. I met him on set. He played Mike, the husband. Man, he's only on camera for minimum seconds. He gets out, he commands respect. You're like, this guy's a dude. This guy's handling the cop car. And then boom, he gets shot, and then he's dying, but not to camera. He's off here, and I'm like, every time I see it, bro, I get choked up. And Georgina and him are believable. You think, yeah, go home and make me some meatloaf. Like they're a couple, and I have a couple. So to feel me or my wife, one of us passing, how's the other one going to feel? I was right there. Every time I watch it, man, I was like, man, what a great scene that was to sink the hook in the viewers from the beginning, and then give her that authority and that power. And I try to keep that cat and mouse. We weren't sharing the screen at the same time, but I'm like, you know what? In the script, she's getting closer, so I got to have a little bit of like, what if she stops me? What if she stops my plan? So I had to give her the power of being formidable because I killed her husband, so she's got nothing to lose, and I had to let her feel that because being a big guy, being a villain and a psycho killer shouldn't really fear anybody, right? But I had to make it believable that she could wreck my plans. And I think we got a nice merriment of that on the screen. And she's at the thing banging on the window like, oh, front row seat, here we go. And she boom, 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 shoots him. And now he's in the back of the vehicle again, going back to where he was when he started. Like he must be like, I'm killing everyone, man. That's it. Fuck, he must have just been pissed. Like, man, back to the beginning. I had to break out of here. I had to do this thing cross country. I almost got the nuclear plant. Oh man. So I think he's pissed. And the way that's open ended, and they left her pregnant too. So that could get crazy, man. Like
I compared too.
Yeah. Well, they signed me for a multiple deal, so I think I've signed for 3. So if things go, we could do 2 and 3 for sure, and then who knows after that. So we had fun doing it, man.
Well, I believe it. I very much believe it. Was it a long shoot? Was it always at night? What was the atmosphere like?
Yeah, it was like, when I first started doing film, they used to do 3 months to a year. Like it would take forever because it was like film. Yeah. But now it's so digital. This should have been 45 days, but I did it in 30. Man, the days were like 16, 18 hours, 6-hour turnaround. And, I had all the demonic horns and 666s on me. I said, every day to make sure we got to take this off. They're like, but you're back in 6 hours. I'm like, I'm not taking this home with me. So they would watch me and I'd go home and I'd read a little bit of the Bible to stay balanced because it was really, Satan all day. So I was like, oh, so, so I just would just try to stay focused, stay balanced. The days were really long, bro. Like we have what's called a wrap party. At the end of the shoot, you finish shooting, and the next day is the wrap party. Everybody, hey, congratulations, pictures. Hey, pictures, phone numbers. See you in the next one. So our wrap party was supposed to be Friday, but we didn't get everything. So they scrapped the wrap party. We go to set. So we're shooting, and they're like, bring your suitcase. We shot till like 3 or 4 in the morning. I left with my suitcase to the airport, like 18-hour day on the plane. Like, back to LA, and Winnipeg was freezing, bro. It was crazy. The weather was changing. Like some days it's snowing, some days it's windy. So nothing outside matched up. So we're shooting day 1 with the police officer scene, and it was bright. And then we had to go back and finish the shoot that day, next day. But it was snowing, and the wind was like this. Didn't match up. So I'm like, okay, we're going to go down to page 26. We're going to go downtown. I'm like, what scene are we doing? I'm scrambling because now I got to do my pre-work on the ride down. And so it was running and gunning, man. This was a really tough shoot. A lot of obstacles, there's no way. This was 15 years in the making. A lot of producers came on, directors looked at it. It took a long time to get here. So I'm glad we finally got it made, though. Like I said, it was a blast to do it.
Did you ever get scared on set? Was there ever a moment, you're the bad guy. Was there a jump scare, or did you get anybody while you were on set? You're a large man. I have to imagine you got somebody. These are a couple somebody.
Dude, probably the real scare that I really gave them is I showed up to set and they have the mask. And the mask, you can't hear anything. It's very blurry. It's very small holes. It's a heavy rubber. It dulls all your senses, man. It was hard to work in. And they're like, here's your mask. Let's just try it on. We're going to do a walkthrough. Okay. I say, okay, let me see. So I put it on and we did a scene. And they're like, okay, cut, get the mask off. So I take the mask off. And this is what I do. I go, it wasn't too bad. I think we're going to be okay. And they're all like, oh, because we got like 30 days. There's no way. If that was my reaction on day one, there's no way. So the team's all like, like they're about to say, we need a new mask. I'm like, just joking. And they're like, oh, dude. So that scared everybody because they're like, if the mask doesn't work, we're shooting that like tomorrow. We're done. So that was like a real scare for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't think the mask didn't work, but yeah, super cool.
That's awesome. So what do you want people to know about your movie that maybe we haven't kind of covered for Psycho Killer? Anything we really want to hit? Any points you really want to get across for folks?
Yeah, what I like about Psycho Killer is, it got us a chance to bring a formidable villain. We have Jason and Michael, but those guys, they've been around, long time.
Yeah.
This is a 2026 character. And this was written pre-COVID. So this is 15 years ago. So if we do number 2, we're going to write it past COVID, where it's going to have all the bells and whistles that we have today and all the technology we have moving forward. So it could get a little trickier. Like I said, Jason and those guys are in a time capsule. They can't really come this far ahead, believably. So I think that gives us a chance to explore some new avenues. And like I said, I watched it back and I see how he moves, and he's very capable and he's very imposing. He knows no one can really stop him. He's a big, strong guy, and he's willing to go right to the end. He's willing to kill you. I mean, so that gives him a certain confidence and a certain swagger when he walks. I've made elongated strides through him. I'm 6'5", so as I was walking, it looked like I was walking slow, but I was covering a lot of ground with that. So a lot of body language that I was using to tell his story, because he doesn't have a lot of dialogue. He has some, more than Jason and Michael. Not as funny as Freddy Krueger, but he thinks. He's going through the papers. He's communicating. You don't see his face, which I love, because my vanity was like, I want to see my face. But as a fan, I was like, it's great not to see his face, have the mask on, but when it's off, it's shaded. You don't see the lighting and that. So I think it's a great touch. It's got lots of room to travel. And the response that I've gotten, people have really, really liked him. He's a big, formidable guy. He has a level of intelligence. And he's got some motivation. So I think if we get to do some more, I think there's a lot more meat on the bone that we could bring to the fans. And the fans are great. They really. I'm getting lots of emails. My Instagram is like it's a Rolodex. I'm like what? It's incredible. So I've been welcomed by the horror community with open arms, and I feel blessed to have done this film. Really, like, look at us. We're hanging out and talking. We wouldn't have been doing this a couple of months ago.
I agree.
So it's
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I do. If you don't mind, let's talk about your short, man. You did a thing. You were a director. Can we talk about Gutterball Blues a little bit?
Yeah, Gutterball Blues. I had a friend of mine come to me. He's like, he does a bunch of shorts. He's like, but I got all this camera equipment. I want to be, I don't want to wear too many hats. Could you direct this for me? And I was like, okay. So I got 2 boys, 6 years old, 3 years old. So I'm full on dad. So he sends me the start of the script, and I hadn't looked at it yet. And then there's rewrites. I'm like, who's Scott? And Scott's like, this guy we casted. He doesn't have a lot of acting, but he wants to be an actor. So I said, ask Scott if he wants to write or he wants to act. He said, Scott wants to act. I said, okay, because I don't want to be with the other writer debating on the day, because I have one day to shoot this. I need all of the. So he's okay. So I said to the guy, I said, listen, do you want to win a Best Actors Award? He's like, yeah. I go, just trust me what I do. Trust me what I say, and I'll win you an award. So I wrote a scene. My lead doesn't have any dialogue. He has no dialogue. Everyone around him has dialogue, but he doesn't have any. And it's almost you don't know. So then we're like, wait a second, that guy didn't say anything. But when I told him you're going to have no dialogue, he kind of goes, and he's got this look. So every time I said action, he goes, like, shit, I need realness. So I told the camera guy, I go, listen, when I yell cut, I go, keep rolling. Cut. And then he's, doing his thing. I'm like, that's the stuff that we used to help tie in
That's
the film.
awesome.
Yeah, and that's just being around on how I thought of this. It's going so fast. I mean, setting up the lights, I'm doing this guy. That's got to be deeper, lighter. And I did the wardrobe. I cut the guy's hair. Like I'm doing everything. Like because I've been on so many sets, and I thought I've wasted 20 years of my life. I'm like, it's an actor. Like I've been wasted. But when it was time to write this and direct it, man, I've all this stuff came up that I didn't even know I had, man. It's like I, went to all these classes and theory. Like I lived a lot of life. I've been on a lot of sets, so I'm always noticing stuff without noticing. So then we put in some festivals. Man, 14 festival wins for like I had a best director, I had a best actor, I had there's like a bunch of stuff. I was like, wow. So that told me a lot, and now I have stories that I'm trying to get out there. And directing was great. It was like when acting was new to me, I was like, wow, this is awesome. It was like because like you're the quarterback, you're kind of you're watching everything, you're seeing everybody's stuff, the actors, the lighting, the story, and I have one of the actors was like, I can do this, or I could do this, and I'm thinking it's going to take away from the story, but I've done that. I've gone up to directors in the past, go, hey, I can do this. I'm like, oh. So I learned now on this side of the camera. I became a better actor after directing, if that makes sense, because now I'm thinking, I made
it
those.
does.
Wow, I learned from this side instead of learning from this side. I'm like, see, okay. So it was a great experience, and I would definitely do it again. But you're all in, man. When you're a director, it's all on you, man. Like everything's you. But I liked it. It was only a small short, so it didn't take me a lot of time out of my life. But I was happy to do that, man. Thanks for asking about that. I appreciate that, man.
Of course, man. What was it like going to the festivals? The festival circuit's always interesting to me. Like,
I've
gone, travel on?
I've gone. I went to TIFF a couple of times. I'm Canadian from Toronto, so I've been to TIFF. I've had a few films. Defender was in TIFF. Beginner's Guide to Endings was in TIFF. So I've been to TIFF a few times. I didn't get to go to these festivals because I'm a hands-on dad. I got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old,
sure.
And I'm here with them, and that's it's a blessing to be able to be at this age, because a lot of my friends have kids that are older, almost in their 20s, and they're like, what I wouldn't do to have my 6-year-old back. Just when they're looking at daddy, and and I'm like, that's my guys. Like they follow me around like I'm their hero. They listen to everything I say. It's like I'm living in the blink. They're my friends. Like it's the blink of an eye. So I'm living in the blink. So I don't want to miss too much of that blink. So a festival is great. But I've done them before, but I haven't been a dad before. So for me, the dad thing is really tip of the spear.
So, okay, Mr. Dad, when are they seeing Psycho Killer? When are they busting out the old Psycho Killer, seeing Dad on the big screen?
Oh, they know I'm Psycho Killer already. I tell them that's Daddy because we watch Back to the Future, and they know Michael J. Fox is Marty, right? And I said James Preston Rogers is Psycho Killer. And then we're at school today. He has a field trip. I'm walking him on the bus, and he's like, "My daddy's Psycho Killer." I'm like, I go, it's a film that I gotta articulate what he meant. Like, do I got bodies in my trunk of my car? I'm like, no, I'm an actor. It's a film, and yeah. Whew. So, but they know it's acting, and when they see it, it's just ketchup. It's
awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I've told them about it, so it'll be.
That's incredible. So, Alec, a couple more questions for you, if you don't mind. But
no, do it. Yeah.
The Weird Al Yankovic story. Was it cool playing Hulk Hogan? Like being a wrestler? Like, was that just awesome?
Yeah, pinch me. Am I dreaming, dude? I think I was the first actor to ever play Hulk Hogan, other than Hulk Hogan, on a film. Yeah. How did I get that? You know what that led to?
What?
You know what? The Righteous Gemstones got me that job. I was doing the Righteous Gemstones. I was Tan Man, and I was doing a scene, and I got a phone call. Would you audition for Hulk Hogan? I auditioned for Hulk Hogan. I used to have long hair. I just cut my hair, and then I get Psycho Killer, and I get Hulk Hogan with the hair. But I said, yeah. So I read for it, booked it. They flew me out. It was during COVID. Everyone's got the masks on. They brought me there early. Hulk Hogan is really, really tan. So they're like painting my skin. Like I'm like rotisserie chicken color. Like I'm like so golden brown all day. And they had me there at like 10 a.m. I'm ready to go at 10 a.m. I didn't go on until 2 a.m. So I'm sitting in full makeup, handlebar mustache all day. And I'm like, oh. So going to set. So we're from the trailers going to set. And then this guy's in the front. He's like, says mask on. He turns around. He's like, you know what? We're playing Righteous Gemstones. I'm like, hey, there's our Hulk Hogan. I was like, oh, cool. Like, who's this dude? So I get out the thing, and they're like, oh, that was Weird Al Yankovic. I'm like, who that guy was? Because he had short hair and he had the mask. I'm like, by the time I got he was gone. I was like, oh man. And then he saw me. We're inside, and everything's very like I said, it was COVID time, so we're all the stars. I was trying to hang out with the stars, and what's the guy's name that played the lead? He's in Lord of the Rings, and all the actors. Anyway, so yeah, we're buddies and hanging out, and it was great because, like I said, playing Hulk Hogan and being a fan. I got the Hulk Hogan dolls, the figurines, and I play Hulk Hogan, dude. It was, and I met Hogan. I met Terry down in Gold's Gym down here, and he says, "Hey, you got the hair, and you're going to make it one day, kid. Just keep at it." And I was like, "Yeah," because I was with the company. I was with the company.
Oh, sure.
So
sure.
then we spent some time and spent the day together. Him and his son. And, he's super cool. Like just so giving. He was so generous with his time with me. We were hanging out pretty much the afternoon, just training and talking. Gave me a lot of pointers. But to play him, dude. I mean, you kidding me? I'm playing Hulk Hogan. Like that tells you, dude, you can play Hulk Hogan. Because inside myself, I still see a skinny little 14-year-old guy with pimples looking back at him. So I'm cast as Hulk Hogan. Like, how does that even make in my mind? How does that make sense? I know I'm 6'5", 260, but you don't know you're 6'5", 260 till like, hey, would you play Hulk Hogan? I'm like, me? It's like, whoa, like, yeah, okay, man. So it was a check mark in the box for me, man. It was awesome, dude. Really.
That's awesome. Well, I won't take too much more of your time, but the Righteous Gemstones, you mentioned it, and I love that show. So I would love to hear any experiences you can tell me about that show. I would love to hear.
Oh, dude. I was on the season while the big guys were on it, right? I thought I was one of the big guys, but I wasn't. I was the buddy to Julia Roberts' brother. What's his name? Roberts. I'm dropping names right now. But anyway, yeah, that was a cool experience too. That was South Carolina, beautiful, man. I hadn't been that way before, so that was a really good experience. And Danny was there the first day, and I walked in. I'm like, Mason told me I'm doing Righteous Gemstones. I'm like, man, what am I scraping the bottom of the barrel? Crickets. I go, shit. I guess I'm not coming back next season. But trying to be funny, and they're like, get out of here. But that was good. I think I got 5 episodes out of that. And funny. And I was with another guy I used to look up to growing up, but John Goodman. I did a good scene with John Goodman. My final scene of the day with him. And he was I understand him now more that I did Psycho Killer because John Goodman's like this. I'm like, but you don't have energy to give out. And he's older than me because you got to save your energy for the sets and for the scenes. I wasn't with him till my last day. And once I'm like, hey, how you doing there, son? Hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, because I guess he must have thought maybe I was an extra, I was whatever, but you can't just shell out your energy. You need it because when camera's on, you got to be ready. Again, with Psycho Killer doing 16-hour days, like I'm at the end of the day, like you got to be like on, right? And I remember that one scene where I throw her through the window and I come in, pick up the suitcase, pick up the gun, break the window, suitcase, gun, mask. Man, oh man. It was 2 a.m. and I had to keep replacing the glass. Dude, I messed it up a few times. Like I did the wrong order. I'm like, oh, I know. They're all like, I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I know. It's the suitcase gun thing. Oh, sorry. I was like 2 times I'd messed up, but I just couldn't think. I just couldn't get the next thought in my mind to get my hands to do what I needed. I was just like a rusted robot. I was like, oh. Yeah, that's acting. You got to be ready when it's rolling because when it's rolling, it's when it's going to be captured forever. So whatever up to that moment, you got to be ready in the moment. And that's the hard, difficult part that people don't realize. You can't just coast through the day. I'm calling sick today. Calling sick. You got to be there. There's no calling in sick. You got to be 100% because this is going to be remembered forever. Yeah,
forever.
Yeah.
Well, sir, do you have anything else coming up you want to talk about? Anything in the works that you want to chat about?
Oh, yeah, there's a couple things. I have a couple of ideas in my mind. There's some characters I want to try and play for Marvel. I want to try to play Omega Red. There's nothing written for him yet, but I'm going to put something together for Marvel and let them see that. I read for Tangled. We're looking at Tangled, the Disney live action.
That'd be cool.
The two brothers, the Stabbingtons, they are the brothers that take the crown. So that's cool. They shoot that in France and Spain. So we're in talks. Hopefully that goes my way. But there's a lot of actors out there, man. There's a lot of people. So you get the ones you're supposed to, and you're just grateful when you get work, man.
Yeah, for sure. Where can folks find you online? What are your socials? What do you want to plug? Anything?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram, James Preston Rogers. Instagram's good. I got a Facebook page. Reach out if you guys have some artwork you want me to send me some artwork. If you're drawing or you're doing anything, candles, posters, whatever, I'll take a picture, send it back to you. I plan on doing a few Comic Cons this year, horror cons. So keep an eye out for my name and come say hello and let me know what you guys think.
Dope. Do you have a schedule? I'd love to post it. Do you have a schedule for your cons?
That's great. Can I give it to you when I get it? Because I know it's coming.
Yeah, just send it to us. Yeah, just send it to us. We'll post it.
Oh, that'd be great, dude. Appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude. That was awesome, Justin. You're so smooth, man. You're a pro. You're very good at what you do. I'm glad you found your niche, brother. It's very easy to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. I love having you. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Appreciate it. See you, everybody.
Thank you. Ciao.